Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Talk Sports Show with Alec Pecado. Here are my NFL rankings after week 3. And at the end of this, you will get my 2 upset picks for part 1 for week 4. And then tonight at 6 o'clock, I will have my locks of the week, upsets of the week, and some fantasy football starts at 6 tonight at 6 o'clock. Let's get into my power rankings after week 3. At number 32, I have the New York Jets. And they're here because they don't have Aaron Rodgers. I don't trust Zach Wilson at all. I'm sorry, Jets fans. I don't trust Zach Wilson. And I don't think there's many people that do trust Zach Wilson. And that is why I have the Jets here. Nothing against it. Before I get to number 31, I want to mention in the comments down below, I have the link to my fantasy football league, my fantasy basketball league, my Discord, and my Patreon. The Discord is free. The Patreon, I would highly recommend getting a membership to. It's $4 a month once you purchase it. And that is where you get exclusive content, such as you will get my waiver wire rankings every Monday and how much fab I think you should put down on guys you're getting off the waiver wire, and my top 15 wide receiver, quarterback, and running back rankings every week going forward the rest of the season. And the Fantasy Football League, we need 9 more people. 9 more people. 9 more subscribers or 9 more people that have watched my videos. Please join. We are trying to draft tonight. Maybe even on when I stream tonight for fantasy, when I do my NFL picks tonight. Maybe we'll have the fantasy football draft while that's going on. Back to the regularly scheduled content, though. At number 31, I have the Washington Commanders. And the reason here is not because of their defense. It's their offense. Sam Howell, I'm sorry, he is not an NFL QB. He's just not. And the people that say he is are crazy. If he was an NFL caliber starting quarterback, he would have gotten picked earlier in the draft and not in the 3rd or 4th round. That is why the Commanders are at number 31. At number 30, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. And the main reason they're at number 30 is because of their coach, Brandon Staley. You were supposed to beat the Vikings, and you choked and lost. How? You have one of the brightest young QBs in the NFL. How do you manage to choke and lose to a team that's terrible? At number 29, I have the Denver Broncos. And I'm going to say this before I get into talking about that. My power rankings are done differently. I do it based on week by week how the teams play. If you play good, you're going to move up a few spots in my power rankings. If you play bad, you move down. The only difference between this and my college football rankings is the power rankings, my NFL power rankings. You cannot be discarded or taken out. And it's my fault last night. I left the team out of the power rankings but they're in here now. You will see them later on in the power rankings. We have the full 32 teams, all the 32 teams in the NFL in the power rankings. Back to the Broncos. The reason they're at number 29 is because I don't know if y'all watched it on Sunday. They got obliterated by the Dolphins. And you give up 70 points, this is where you're going to get put in my rankings for NFL. The Broncos, all the Russell Wilson haters out there. Why? Why are you still hating on this man? Back-to-back weeks, he's thrown for over 300 yards. Over 300. And bold prediction this week, I think he throws for over 300 yards again against the Chicago Bears. At number 28, I have the Carolina Panthers. I like the direction they're going in, but I think right now they're still in a rebuild. So they're going to be around this area during the season. They may move up a couple spots. They may move down, but they're going to stay in that 28 to 30 range in my power rankings. At number 27 is the Indianapolis Colts, and they're at 27 for one reason: Jonathan Taylor. If he comes back and plays and the Colts win, I will start slightly, gradually moving them up my rankings inside the top 20. But right now, they're 27 because Jonathan Taylor is not there. So, if you're a Colts fan, I feel your pain. I'm a Bucs fan. We had that with Jameis, minus the sitting out, being injured, which I don't wish injury upon anybody. I hope Jonathan Taylor comes back next week. At number 26 is the Minnesota Vikings. Cousins is not the problem. It's your defense. Your defense is horrible. Horrid. Awful. At number 25 is the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are here because they started out the season 2-0, but then they fell flat on their face on Monday night against the Bengals. They did lose, but it was only by a field goal, which I think that's a win, even in a losing effort. Number 24, the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders need a quarterback. Give Aiden O'Connell a shot. And fantasy football fans, Aiden O'Connell was not one of the guys I told you to stash, but now I think is the time. If you have Garoppolo, I think you should stash Aiden O'Connell on your bench, because I think later in the season, when the Raiders fall out of contention, he will start some games. At number 23, I have the number 23, I have the New England Patriots. Mac Jones is having a decent season right now. But the reason the Patriots are at number 23 is not because of Mac Jones. It's not because of Ramondre Stevenson. It is due to the fact that they don't have a bona fide number one wide receiver. You should have gone out and signed DeAndre Hopkins. You should have traded for DJ Moore. Should have done this. You should have done that. That is why they're at number 23. Number 22, the Chicago Bears. And I apologize for if you give me a minute, I'm going to rant for a minute straight on the Bears. Kevin Warren, you need to fire Matt Eberflus. He is ruining Justin Fields. I understand Justin Fields. And you need to get Justin Fields some offensive line help. That's the only way you're going to see the full potential of Justin Fields. If you can't do that, trade Justin Fields, trade DJ Moore, and start over. Completely over. That is why the Bears are at number 22. And no, I'm not a Bears fan. I am an avid Justin Fields fan, as he did go to Ohio State. That is why I had the rant about the Bears. But at number 21, I have the Atlanta Falcons. I think they have a promising, bright, hold up. Jesus Christ. Promising, bright future. I think the Falcons in the next, if they can get a quarterback that knows how to throw to Drake London and Kyle Pitts, sorry, Desmond Ridder, you're not an NFL caliber quarterback. If they can get a QB that knows how to throw to Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, then they will be a perennial contender in the NFC South. At number 20, the Arizona Cardinals. And yes, I know people are going to say, why are they this high? They should have already been, we should have already said their name earlier in the power rankings. I didn't, because I don't think they're tanking. Their updated projected win total from Vegas is under 4.5 wins. And I'm sorry, but the way Josh Dobbs is playing, and you're going to get Kyler back, I am going to take the over on the wins. They're not going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. At number 19, I have the Tennessee Titans. And this is because of one reason, and one reason only. It's not DeAndre Hopkins. No. Ryan Tannehill needs to be benched. You need to bench Ryan Tannehill and see what you have on Malik Willis and Will Levis. You just drafted Levis this year, Tennessee. Why aren't you playing him or Malik Willis to see who is the better quarterback for the future? At number 18, I have the New York Giants. I could have them higher, but I don't for one reason: their defense. Their defense is still terrible. Their defense can't stop anybody. At number 17, I have the Houston Texans. They're another team. I don't think the Texans are tanking quite as much as people think. They have a promising young quarterback, rookie quarterback, and CJ Stroud, which if you look at my rankings this week for fantasy football, my top 15 quarterback rankings, CJ Stroud is one of my top 15 quarterbacks this week. If you're inside my top 15, you're a slam dunk start for this week in fantasy. If you're just outside, so like if you're 16, 17, 18, 19, I would still start you. 20 and beyond, if you have a better option, use that better option. Don't start them. But back to the Texans. I like Tank Dell and CJ Stroud. I think that's going to be a lethal combination. And Nico Collins in the future. And maybe there's a sliver of hope for Brevin Jordan. That was number 17. Here's number 16, the Green Bay Packers. Life without Aaron Rodgers is looking pretty good right now, to say the least. But that could always change. You never know. I like Jordan Love. He is my number 10 quarterback this week in fantasy, in my top 15. So if you have Jordan Love, start him tonight on Thursday Night Football against the Lions. At number 15, the New Orleans Saints, who get Alvin Kamara back this week. I don't have them higher than this. I need to see what they look like against an NFC South team. They haven't played anybody in the NFC South yet, but they get the chance this week. And it's a revenge game for Jameis Winston playing the Buccaneers, because I don't think Derek Carr is going to play. Bold prediction. I think Jameis goes off this week against the Buccaneers, has 3 touchdowns, 2 to Chris Olave, 1 to Michael Thomas, and Alvin Kamara has a big game as well. At number 14, I have the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks at number 14 because of their defense. Their defense doesn't look like it did last year so far, because they're without Tariq Woolen, their outstanding young corner. Once he comes back and they get their defense back to the way it was, they will move up into the top 10. At number 13, the Miami Dolphins. I told you would see them a little bit later in my rankings, and you are. The Dolphins are here because of the big game they had against Denver. Sorry, Bronco fans. Like I said, the Dolphins are here, and this is a week-by-week basis. They could stay here next week, or they could move up, or if they lose, they can move down my rankings. Which, when I say down, that means, say you're at 13. Moving down means you move 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Moving up means you move inside top 11. At number 12, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers are here. I like how Baker's played this year. He's only thrown 1 interception so far. And that's so far on the season. If he can continue that, we won't have an issue. And I will keep moving the Buccaneers up. At number 11, I have the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan by any stretch of the imagination. I don't like Jerry Jones. But the Dallas defense is the reason that Dallas is where they are in my rankings right now. At number 10, I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sorry, Steelers fans, that I forgot about y'all last night when I did my rankings. I was half asleep when I did them. And I apologize. The Steelers are number 10, and the main reason they're number 10 is because of their defense. Their defense is elite. It's a good, really good defense with TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Mika Fitzpatrick. And I think that defense can take the Steelers maybe to the playoffs. I don't know if it'll win them the Super Bowl, but it could take them to the playoffs. At number 9, I've got the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills are here because I love Josh Allen, but turnovers. Turnovers are his kryptonite. He can't not turn the ball over. And that's his issue, is he turns the ball over too much. That is why I can't move Buffalo past number 9. Another team that has a good defense, number 8, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns defense is no joke so far this year. That is why they're number 8. Number 7. It is the Detroit Lions. The Lions are number 7 for 2 reasons. 1, they have one of the best offenses in the NFL. And 2, I love their head coach, Dan Campbell. I like his post-game pressers. At number 6 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags are at number 6. I feel like I can move them up if they win. If they keep winning, I will move them up my rankings. But it's just Trevor Lawrence. They look a little rusty right now after making a late playoff run last year. But I feel like they're in a better spot than this next team. At number 5, the Baltimore Ravens. The reason the Ravens are at 5 and not inside the top 4 is because one thing, running backs. They can't keep a running back healthy. J.K. Dobbins is out for the season. Justice Hill's got an injury. Gus Edwards was in concussion protocol. Now he's out. Harbaugh said he didn't have a concussion. They were trying to say he did. I don't know who to believe, but that is why the Ravens are at number 5. Number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles are at number 4 because of their defense. I didn't take their defense serious till I saw it this week against the Bucs. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are going to be a problem for the rest of the NFL. And Eagles fans, your GM, Howie Roseman, is a genius at drafting. Just like this next guy. At number 3, I have the San Francisco 49ers. John Lynch is also a genius at drafting. And I say that because if y'all remember last year, who was the starting quarterback? Jimmy Garoppolo. He got hurt. Everybody's like, oh, they're done. This Mr. Irrelevant is going to be their starting quarterback. No. Correction. It was Trey Lance. Then he got hurt. And everybody's like, oh, who's going to be their quarterback now? Because Trey Lance is hurt. Here comes out of nowhere Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. And look what Brock Purdy's done. He has solidified himself as a franchise QB. Maybe the next Brady. That's a long way. He still has a long way to go before that. But I think he can be the next Brady. At number 2, the Cincinnati Bengals. They started to look like themselves a little bit last week against the Rams on Monday night. Even though they only scored 19 points. I think they're starting to get the flow back. And at number 1, you had to know it. The Kansas City Chiefs. With Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. The best coach quarterback duo in the NFL. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And now, here's part 1 of my upset picks for the NFL this week. My first upset this week is the Rams over the Colts. And I think this can happen because I know Anthony Richardson's going to play, most likely. But I don't trust that Colts offensive line against Aaron Donald. I think Aaron Donald's going to feast on the Colts offensive line. And this may be a shocker. The Giants are actually favored over the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks getting the upset in this game. I don't know why. I just feel like it's going to be Seattle pulling the upset. And again, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments down below is the link to my Discord, the link to my Patreon, which is $4 a month, and you get my top 15 quarterback, running back, receiver rankings for fantasy football every week, as well as waiver wire ads for fantasy football. And those of you that do fantasy baseball, I will also be putting rankings up there, top 15 every position, when the baseball season starts next year. So January, be looking for those rankings for fantasy baseball, but that's in January. The Fantasy Football League, we are trying to draft tonight. There's 8 spots left. If you haven't joined up yet, I would highly recommend it, as you get to compete with me and possibly, if he joins, my co-host. We would really love if you joined the Fantasy Football League so you could compete with us in that fantasy league to see who's the best. And a link, like I said, to the Patreon is in the comments below, and so is the Discord link. Join up both of those, please. I would really recommend it, as that is where, outside of YouTube, you will get to chat with me. But I will see y'all at 6 o'clock. Have a great rest of your day and afternoon. Thanks. Goodbye.